behalf of Malice Gunworks, we're filming some of the beginning videos of the Learn to Shoot with CATLAS video series, and I'm here with Charlie from Big Panda Performance. Charlie, what do you do?
So, Charlie Perez from Big Panda Performance. Help shooters, practical shooters, maximize their shooting performance, both on and off the range. Before we do any training together, I want to see how you shoot just on your own little way to do it. So let's go ahead and make ready. Fire at your target. Finish on load show clear. So today we're going to work on grip and stance. So you're going to get your grip ironed out in the proper stance to fire a weapon as fast as you need to.
That's cool. So what are we going to do first?
So the first thing we're going to do is we need to make sure that your grip is proper on the gun. So go ahead and actually, from a safety perspective, show me your gun is clear. So bring that out. Show me, yep, you got an empty chamber. That's good. So go ahead and do what your normal grip is, pointing at our target there at 7 yards. Okay. So I'm just walking around here, assessing a few different things. Okay. All right. So go ahead and holster up really quick. All right, so the first thing I want to try here is do mock like you're with just your hands, okay? Now you see there's this offset here. This is a little bit more bent here. You need this to be a little bit more bent there, about in the center, okay? Now, I'm going to push on you here, and what we need to do is we need to push out with our elbows to the point where our elbows don't want to collapse anymore. So I'm going to give you a little bit of pressure, a little bit more out, a little bit more. There we go. This is where the bend of your elbows need to be to not collapse while you're shooting. That make sense? So let's go ahead and get the gun back out. Try to replicate that same arm position. Okay. There we go. So the next thing, the thing I really like here is you do not have any gap here under the beaver tail. You want that hand really high, which is great. The one thing I do see is this hand is down a little bit where it needs to be. So take this hand off for a second. And the best way to do this is to actually point our thumb towards the target. That creates the proper wrist angle. Then we need to place this as high as you can get it on the side of the gun. So you see we have no gap here now, back between the hands. So we basically have skin on skin. That's the proper way to put our support hand on there. Okay? So now I'm going to give you a little bit of pressure here, nice and solid, so that is good. The one thing I want to keep away from is we don't want a lot of downward pressure with this thumb, okay? Same thing with this thumb. You're going to think of it, they're just laying where they're at. And your grip pressure is going to be front to back with our firing hand and left to right with our support hand, okay? So go ahead and holster up really quick. So now I'm going to pretend like I'm the gun. Okay, so give me your strong hand, and I'll pretend like I'm the grip. So grip my hand. Can you grip it harder? Okay, so back off a little bit. Can you give it a little bit more without getting tense? Okay, let's try this hand. Yep, grip hard. Can you grip harder? Okay, there we go. Just slightly less. That's how hard we need to grip the gun. Okay. So let's get the gun back out there. Let's try to replicate those hand positions. There you go. Lots of pressure here, front to back pressure here. Okay. So we've got the grip ironed out. We have all this down. Now we have to work on the stance. You see how you want to rock back and forth very easily? So go ahead and holster the gun really quick. Now, we're going to use hands here because this is the best way to duplicate the pressure of actually shooting. So get your hands out here. And I'm going to give you some force here. And this is going to how we're going to determine what we need to do with the stance. Okay? What I like here is that your elbows aren't going like this. That makes it really hard to manage the recoil because the gun will be fishing all over the place. So to fix this, what we need to do is we need to fix your stance. So you're a right-handed shooter, and usually right-handed shooters are right leg dominant. So the best way to figure that out is if we put our feet together like this, toe to toe, and I'm slowly going to push you forward. I want you to take a step with whatever leg. There we go. Let's do one more time. So get those feet together. There we go. I'm going to push you forward. Okay. So this shows that you're right leg dominant. And usually right leg dominant people and right-handed shooters have their feet, the right foot back, biased back in a certain manner. With you being a small statured person, you're going to probably have to have a bigger blade than a bigger statured person. So what we're going to try here is, if these are my feet, the first one I'm going to try is half and half. Okay? Now I want the stance wide enough, so widen your stance a little bit. Okay, it's looking pretty good. Now I want you to just break your knees slightly. There we go. Get your hands out. Okay, I'm going to give you some force. Boom, 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 boom. I think we need a little bit more blading, so maybe we need to be this. There we go. Bend your knees a little bit. There we go. Boom, 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 boom. Very solid and stable. Okay? Now let's get the gun out again. Let's double check this grip. It's looking good. Might have to bend this elbow just slightly. Okay? I'm going to test this. It's very solid, which is what we're looking for. Bend your knees slightly. Here we go. Boom, 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 boom. You'll be able to manage that recoil very well. You want to give it a try?
Yeah.
All right, let's make ready. So before you fire, I'm going to test these things out again, and then you can shoot. So let's see. It's looking good. It's looking good. I'm going to test this. Looking pretty good. A little bit of bent knees. I'm going to give you some fake recoil. Boom, boom, boom. Let's shoot. All right. Unload, show clear.